My name's Van Tilbury. I'm the president of East Harding Construction and proud members of the Chamber of Commerce. But today, I'm here in my role as chairman of membership for the Chamber, and I want to welcome all of you here. Great crowd. Love to hear the energy and the conversation. I hope everyone is networking and developing some leads, and I think we've got a great panel here today. I'm really looking forward to what's going to be discussed. This series was launched to address the collective but very unique needs of women business owners and professionals. Today's event is presented in partnership with 3 chamber member organizations: Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, PDC Construction, and the Women's Foundation of Arkansas. Now for our featured guests. To my left, immediate left, Stephanie Jackson. Whether the goal is to generate social currency, media buzz, build brand reputation, or respond to a crisis, Stephanie Jackson brings a wealth of experience to the design group's public relations initiatives that continue to yield phenomenal results for many local and regional clients. In addition to leading the design group's public relations team, Stephanie is also an award-winning executive producer for KARK Channel 4 News, leading several major projects for the television station. She has a Bachelor of Arts in Journalism from UALR. She's active in the music and media ministries at St. Mark Baptist Church and Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority. She and her husband and colleague, Chamber Board member Myron Jackson, have a 12-year-old daughter, Nia. Please welcome Stephanie Jackson. Her husband, Myron, here to my right, so glad to have him here joining. Next to Stephanie is Karen Flake. After selling Flake Wilkerson Market Insights to Market Strategies International and completing the transition in 2009, Karen Flake established Karen Flake and Associates, where she serves as president. The firm offers custom research services to collect data and analyze information for strategic problem solving. At her company, a toolbox of quantitative and qualitative methodologies is used, such as survey research and focus groups. In April 2011, Karen joined with Annie Smith to open ShareView Research, a focus group facility in West Little Rock. Please join me in welcoming Karen Flake. To her left is Gretchen Hall. Gretchen Hall came to the Little Rock Convention and Visitors Bureau in 2001, starting in operations. She provided leadership within the hospitality industry, evidenced by her work celebrating the grand opening of the Clinton Presidential Center, as well as the 50th anniversary of the integration of Little Rock Central High, which led to her becoming Director of Merchandising and Communications. In May of 2011, following a national search, she was named President and CEO of the Little Rock Convention and Visitors Bureau. Gretchen is President of the Heart of Arkansas Co-op Marketing Association and a member of the Downtown Little Rock Partnership, Little Rock Regional Chamber Board of Directors, Riverfest Board of Directors, and a host of other organizations. She earned a Bachelor of Arts degree from Lyon College and a Master's degree in Business Administration from the University of Arkansas, Little Rock. Quite an accomplished woman. Please welcome me or join me in welcoming Gretchen Hall. So how's our panel so far? Pretty impressive. Elizabeth Bowles. Elizabeth Bowles is President and General Counsel of Aristotle, Inc., a full-service interactive agency and internet service provider headquartered in Little Rock. Now, this is not on her introduction, but she's now also chairman of the board, she shared with me. So, President, General Counsel, Chairman of the Board. All right. In 1989, after graduating from UALR with a BA in International Studies, Elizabeth received her JD from Vanderbilt Law School. After law school, Elizabeth clerked for Chief Judge Richard Arnold and later worked as an attorney with the Washington, D.C. law firm of Arnold and Porter, where she practiced in the fields of intellectual property and commercial litigation with an emphasis on international and technology law. Elizabeth is the president of the Wireless Internet Services Providers Association and chair of the Arkansas Young Presidents Association. She currently lives in Little Rock with her husband and 4-year-old daughter. Join me in welcoming Elizabeth Bowles. I'm not sure how many titles I heard up here, but there's a whole lot going on. So we've got a lot to learn. So let's get started. Our discussion will be prompted by a series of questions asked and answered by the panelists. Rather than simply asking and answering, however, let's keep this a conversation, so jump in and out as you will and go where the conversation leads you. We'll conclude with an open mic dialogue with members of the audience. So what we'll do is we'll start with Stephanie beginning our conversation. She's got a question. The panelists will answer. If you guys want to have any input, you can, and you will get an open mic at the end. With that, let's turn to Stephanie.
Good afternoon. I guess I got the shortest straw, so I'm going first. First, I want to say thanks to Jay and the Chamber for this opportunity. This is a great series, and they've already made sure that we know how much time we have. So I'm going to put my broadcast journalist hat on and keep it short, tight. In my role at the design group, we are aggressively and constantly educating our clients and prospects about the changing dynamics of the consumer marketplace. I've got one example for you. It's about the Peabody Hotel right here in Little Rock. Historically, the Peabody Hotel has always had a general market target approach as it relates to leisure and convention sales. However, after our company educated the leadership on the growth that could be sourced from ethnic markets, they made a concerted effort to build relationships with national African-American travel groups and professional organizations throughout the country. And at the height of the recession, when general market business was flat, sourcing volume from those underserved markets made the difference in the hotel being able to remain in the black. You know, in these tough economic times, any growth brand must source volume from every viable segment in the marketplace. And because many of you may know this already, but 2010 census numbers indicated that the African American and Latino populations around the country, even here in Little Rock, are beginning to outpace the growth of the Caucasian markets. So we're very, very interested, and we're constantly looking to grow business in those markets. Now, about my role in the KARK newsroom, as a journalist, I grit my teeth a little bit as I say this. Television news, our website, all the components that make up KARK, it's all big business. The reason I say that is because, you know, I'd like to live in a perfect world where there's an infinite amount of money for the newsroom, the news department, to do what we do. And we need that money in order to do first-class journalism, which we do at KARK. It takes a lot of money. Which we get that money from advertisers. So we have to perform exceptionally well every day. Otherwise, as you know, there are no viewers, and thus we don't go on the air, and we're not online. So with that said, it's important to make sure we're delivering on what we're selling. Viewers have a choice, and we realize that every time they pick up the remote, or they, you know, if you TiVo a newscast, you know, sometimes that story may not seem quite right. You're on to something else. So everybody's busy, and we completely understand that. So we're constantly working hard to make sure we're the first choice, so we can grow our viewership and in turn bring in more ad revenue. At our station, we have a saying about our website, which is arkansasmatters.com. Content is king. What this means is we strive to populate our website with more news and information than any other local news website in the market. And we do. ArkansasMatters.com consistently outperforms those other sites. I won't mention those. We get about 500,000 unique visitors a month to ArkansasMatters.com. And that just means how many computers visit our site. Some months it's at 700,000. Usually that, you know, depends on if there's severe weather, if there's, you know, a big breaking story like we had last Friday with the release from prison of the West Memphis 3. There are about 300 to 400 million page views a month, and ArkansasMatters.com is the biggest website in our company. We're owned by a company out of Dallas, Texas, Nexstar. In terms of traffic and revenue, we're the biggest. That's despite there being other bigger stations, such as a station in Salt Lake City and in Austin. So, Karen.
Thank you. The panel has been asked to address this first issue, all four of us, and then we won't necessarily address every question, but I'm going to repeat that what we're talking here about is sharing a success story or two as to how you've been able to encourage customers to use the services of your respective organizations. So I want to get a sense of the people in the audience. How many of you sell to consumers versus B2B people? Just a show of hands. Consumers, you sell to consumers. Okay, how many of you sell to other businesses and your focus is really on them? Okay, so probably more consumers is what I'm seeing out there. How many of you are in large businesses? Okay, we've got a few. There's just not as many large businesses, and for one thing. How about small business? And how many are owners? Okay, great. Got some entrepreneurs out there. Okay, well, the company that I bought was a small company, and I changed the name, and it became Flake Wilkerson Market Insights in 1996. And we did our pro formas, and we thought that we might do $1 million in sales, not in the first year, but, you know, sometime hopefully down the line. And in 2007, I sold the company. We were at the $25 million mark. Private equity had discovered us, and they came on to our doorstep, and they made us a terrific offer. And it seemed like the right thing to do was to sell. And given the economy, it was the right thing to do. So it is a wonderful success story. And a lot of people aren't going to have that opportunity because you're not in an industry or an environment where that's going to come together. The way we got our customers or encouraged our customers was probably unique for the kinds of business we're in, not unique to us, you know, in terms of lots of businesses, but for many of you, it wouldn't work. We were very targeted in our selling, and we talked about selling. We did not avoid the sales word, which the company I sold to does. They don't like to use the word sales. They do account development. So we had large clients. We had Bell Atlantic, which became Verizon, and we had SBT, Southwestern Bell, Singular, Quest, which used to be US Bell. So we had all the major telecommunications firms, and we provided call center services. And what we did, I think, looking back on that, was we created, over time, as we developed these customers, a sense of trust. Getting that first Bell Atlantic account, they had to step out and trust a small business with, you know, their contract, and it was too big for us. And in normal situations, they would not have let us have that size contract because roughly it started out at about $3 million. So once you get a good piece of business, I think the next step is to develop trust and leverage it and go into the next client and say, look what we're doing. Look what we can do for this client. And we want to tell you how we do that and leverage that opportunity. Now, you've got to have a point of differentiation. If you're going to talk to customers and encourage them to come, you've got to do something for them that is important or of value. If I'm going to go out and buy a T-shirt, how do I differentiate one T-shirt from the other? If I'm a banker, what's going to make me choose your bank? You've got to have a story to tell, and the better you can tell that story, the better you can come up with something to talk about that is of interest and value. That's the way to get in front of your customers. Some of you are going to do it face-to-face, and others are going to do it via email and advertising and other ways of going about it. But go for it. Get out there and tell the story. Okay, Gretchen, what about you?